Hello, how are we? It's very busy out here. It is very busy. Out here. Had agreed to. I just went to take my son from school. Left him at home. I decided to quickly take walk. How are we? Today is Friday. Today is Friday. I'm going to cross. It's very busy. Kids are just closing from school. Hello. Tutu mu konsha. It is shine. It is cold. It is shine. It is shine. Konsha. And you know what time it is here? For those people in Nigeria, the time here now is 1 hour behind. And so we are like 6 minutes past 3. And look at the weather. It looks like it's about 7 p.m. or let's say 6 p.m. Nigeria time. Gets dark quickly. Early darkness. Lamani need this side of the world. Early. Dark. It will be dark early. It's cold. But I need it. I need it because, you know, everything resumes back on Monday now. And I'm going through. Let me gist you people now. I need to. Okay, some people are saying that the time is really not okay here. This person is calling me. This person should leave a voice note. Ma binu jare. To leave voice notes. When you call business WhatsApp, I hardly will pick it. It's not meant for chat. It's for business. Just leave your voice. Just leave voice or bring in what you want to buy, and that is it. What you want to buy, and that is it. How are we now? Girl. I don't know. Ṣé èmi nìkan ni mo go through menopause ni? No. Am I the only one? Am I the only one going through menopause? If you have already reached your menopause, please. And you know our Ankara will soon come out. Mama rò pé mo fi ń ṣeré. I'm sure people will be thinking she just likes to mess around. I mean, just be joking. People will think I'm just joking. You know what is doing me now? My body needs a lot of exercise. Guarami. Only need exercise. So I need to walk. It's very cold though. Òtútù mú gan. It is very cold. Very cold. I just want to carry people along, you know. It's very cold though. And also, now back to us. Somebody was asking me this question. You know, when I talked on, I'm coming back to the menopause something. When I talked on yesterday, 2 days ago, when I talked on the video, the story about the bad event that took place in Nigeria regarding those students that went to lodge in the hotel, you know, I was saying something about Oyibo kids, you know, where their parents have this understanding with their children. They communicate. They are friends with their children, if you remember. And I saw somebody saying that in my video, it was as if I was saying to them that you should carry your child to go and do the children, that you should take your child to go and do use contraceptives. No. Why are you always not picking the right word? I said, because the person sent me and said, oh, that her daughter is 17 years old. That am I advising that and she's of the understanding that it seems like she's not sure. That is the question. That is the problem. Black children are very secretive, and it's because that is the problem. Black kids are very secretive, and it is because the upbringing we had. Oh God, when hair is not your own, I'm a disturb. Anyway, you boy, no, it's not disturb. The lonely rory. Video kelly. It's not balojuna. So, I mean the coco. But see my white hair under the wig. See mode. They feel loud, but I was thinking that it would be too warm for me. I wanted to wear head warmer. Now continue. What I said was our black children are very secretive, and the reason is that many of us aren't their friends. Kì í ṣe ọ̀rẹ́ àwọn ọmọ wa. And this is because this is exactly how we were brought up as well. So it passes on to subsequent generation or generations, because we are of the belief that if we educate them regarding sex, we are corrupting them. Am I making sense? Am I cutting across? I said it is better for us to know them, because I found out over time, whilst I'm based abroad, that Oyibo, they are friends with their children, especially, you know, in terms of they talk intimate with them. They are not, they understand, they learn this education as per sex from home, láti ilé, as opposed to what they are just being taught in school or by friends. They do not leave it to outsiders to introduce their children to virtually everything. In fact, when you see them, sometimes when they clock 16 or 18, a man will take his son to go and watch football in the pub and offer him alcohol. And then the son may be like, Otimu, or may not If he tries it and feels how it is, the father will then tell him, this, my network is acting up. Oh, my network is acting up. I'm your father. I take this, but I take it in moderation. Maybe only at parties. Because you see how you felt when you took it. You were tipsy. And when you took it, you were acting abnormal. This can destroy your life. And some will even go as far as saying, this can ruin your liver. This can cause cancer. Some of them don't say that bad things, or but they make it known to their kids that, see, let's be friends. When their kids have girlfriend or are about to go, and they they discuss it with their children, and even their daughters, that I see them kissing. I said my shop was just on this high street then, yeah, and that when I see kids in uniform, it was later I found out that many of them don't even have intimacy. That's no sexual intimacy. The way they do it is that you see them kiss outside, but they don't go further than that, some of them. So the aspect of contraceptive came in when I said, do you know, it was later on I found out that Oyibo people, when they find out that their kids are their friend, and they've been able to confide in their mother that I have started having intimacy, sexual intimacy with a man, that it is their parents are aware of them going to do. They even take them to make sure that they don't have kids outside wedlock. And that is why you will hardly see such a thing in the white race, especially, you will see many of the white race, they finish their education, they end up marrying their childhood lover and everything. That outside wedlock or baby mamas and baby papa fathers are so many in the black race, because majority of we parents shy away, or we are too strict to discuss such things with our kids. We do not introduce them to this thing by letting them know what the repercussion is. So many of them are so naive, many of them are so vulnerable, they are just left into the world and are taught by friends or even some teachers. Some teachers in Nigeria, that's why I said in Nigeria, some teachers are the ones that defile this, many of us. Some uncles, some, understand. You see, because parents, it's even now that people are creating that awareness that, don't allow any uncles, my daughter should not sit on any uncle's laps. People are now aware. The awareness is now 21st century. But what about the 19th century, 18th century? So many water has passed under the bridge. Many people's life ruined, or low self-esteem. So many women are yet to, and they still carry on with this kind of mindset, pass it on to generation. I said Oyibo people are different from us, and that's why you see in the white race you hardly see baby mama, baby father. No, it's not as bad as our black race. When I say black race, I mean Africans, and I mean Jamaicans, and I mean black, as in, if you get me. You see even Americans, black Americans, you will see baby mama, mama, baba, mama, like that. Because we refuse to, be their friends. We want to be parents. We just want them to be. So that was what brought up the contraceptive. It wasn't that I was saying, because sometimes when some of you come into chat, the best thing for you is to go and listen to it from the beginning, because listening to it from when you came in may not be self-explanatory. You just need to start from the beginning and go and listen to what I said. On listening to what I said, then you'll be able to seriously process it in your head and see if it makes sense to you. If it's reasonable enough, then start to apply it in your everyday life. I find it. I said those kids that thing happened to, as in that's in Ijaniki, those kids that were in the hotel and they were doing 2-some, 3-some, whatever some they just said they were doing, and one was impregnated, out of all this. So I said, you don't be surprised that the parents of these kids are very modest, disciplinarians, and these our kids, majority of them, in fact, almost all, wear two-face in the sense that they are mommy's girl, daddy's girl, mommy's boy, daddy's boy at home, but outside they are something else. They are totally different from the picture you have about or you understand about your children. And that's why I always look at some people when they condemn other people's children and they think their own kids are doing, they are holier. I said my going to college, studying abroad made me to have, it was like I climbed down my high horse, and I now started from like going to the grassroots. You understand? What I did when I was 17, 18. I now went to do it when I was 40. So it was like a matured mind going back to college. And that, to my surprise, the children that I will see in the church and how they behave in the church, I see them behave totally different on campus, that is in the college. But I could not go and start tale-bearing nor snitching on these children. But only thing he did to me was to call my attention to one thing. I also have my own child in the college. So, wow. So these kids, they come and behave very innocent in front of us. But out there, they are themselves. It doesn't matter if it's peer pressure. The most important thing is that they are themselves. Acting two-faced. The achievement you want to achieve, or what you want to really get out of the friendship you have with your kids, is that however way they behave in front of you is the same way they will behave out there. So that was what I was trying to drive into many of you. That however way they behave in front of you should be the same way they behave out there. If they are hip-hop in front of you, then you will not be surprised if they call you and tell you, oh, we saw your child in disco, dancing, Davido, and throwing up the, raising the roofs and everything. You will not be surprised because you know that that is your child. But it would be unfair of you, it would be unfair on you if your child in front of you is always carrying Bible, and has his hair very modest cut, very nice looking, gentle, everything is so good and everything. And always mommy, daddy, mommy and everything. Then out there, they arrest him for selling drugs. I said I experienced a young Nigerian boy right in front of me whilst we were about to do exam. In fact, every time I see that boy, I always look at him like, wow, very angelic. He looks extremely innocent. This lad, he looks very innocent. In fact, the boys I see around him are the ones I always think that they probably are the ones that may influence him. I didn't know he was the one selling drugs in the school to other students that are Nigerians and even Oyibos. He was selling drugs. I just saw the police. I didn't even know they were police. I just saw these two men in mufti who were in the library. I just saw these two men. And when they came in, young men, I didn't know they were police. It was their words, what they were saying, that made me know that, I will never forget that day. I will never forget. And they arrested him. They told him, I was hearing everything. In fact, I wanted to
quickly record it because I wasn't too sure if they were really police or I didn't know what was running through my mind, but somebody told me, don't try it because they might truly be police, and so why would I be recording the scene? And they were talking low, like they told him. I heard them say clearly, we followed you from the house, you are the one selling drugs. They were saying it, the accusation, the allegation, everything. They were levying, they were just talking. The other man was standing gently, and I could sense he had a gun, but I wasn't too sure. But the way he stood was, if you dare resist arrest, you are in shit. And the guy said them, okay. He just gently said, okay. They said he should pack up his books, and that he's not coming back, so he should pack everything. He said he has exams. They said, no, you can't do any exams. Pack up your books. He was saying that he had it. They said, no, you can't do any exam. Pack up your books. He packed everything. His earphone dropped. I picked that earphone. I then went to call some other people. I have some people who were studying law together. One gentleman, I had to call him, and some other people. I said, the boy that was sitting down here, they've arrested him. And they were the ones enlightening me that, the boy, crook. I can bet anything that his parents, if they are not pastors wherever they are, they must be close to pastors. Because everything about the boy is modest. But you know, if you are close to your kids, yeah, you'll probably be able to know, as you know, because you are their friends, you'll be able to know that, he's not a good boy. You'll be begging, also enlightening, also you'll be able to communicate, and you will find out that you'll be able to help him, because no matter what it is, everyone is prone to youthful exuberance. Only that some people take it overboard. Everyone is prone to peer pressure. Everyone, you've been there. If you accept your lying, I will say my own. I have been there. So I think, sometimes when I talk, you have to try and go and say, okay, what got her to this place? Go and listen to the genesis of the story. I was then saying that I was referring to those Janiki kids. I said, those kids, that don't be surprised when they invite their parents, and the parents say, my son, my daughter, doing threesome. Some will burst out in tears. Do not be surprised the kind of profession, the kind of decency, the kind of humble homes those kids are from. You will hardly see people that are from poor home involving themselves. They don't even have the money to go and get themselves into a hotel and start doing twosome, threesome now. You will hardly see a poor man's child that even in the kind of school, federal government college, Janiki. Ọmọ tí ya ń tàpá ńlá wo, à ń bẹ lọ́hùn wo, ló máa rí ní irú bẹ̀ yẹn. So it's rich man's kids with average man's kids. You understand? And so they are the ones that have the money to throw around and do all those things. They are the ones that have the money. Thank you so much, Dumbi Gladys. God bless you. So that's I said, when a parent now is called and say, they call you and say, Madam or Mr. Lagbaja or Chief Lagbaja or so, please, your attention is needed in the school. Your heart will. Don't be surprised. Mothers of those kids are the ones that will even look at other people's children and say, ọmọ Lagbaja yẹn, ọmọ yẹn bàjẹ́, ọmọ yẹn. They will never see it in their kids. Did you see that video that went viral sometime last year? Yes. That we saw the girl was dancing, like those go-go dancers. I think the girl was just 12 and underage. Innocent. In fact, it was because they went to Dubai on holiday from their school, rich man Pikin school. It was because they went to Dubai and she went to have, some sex with, or twosome, threesome. That was why people went to fetch a video out. You can't see that child anywhere. and think she knows anything. Do you get me? It doesn't matter if you lock kids up in the house. The social media and technology has exposed kids. They can be in the house but operating on the internet. They can be in the house and doing many things around the world. They can be in the house, some of them, they can be in the house and be selling drugs. All they need to do is to have the link, connection, end of. So I was saying that those kids is just for the parents. Do not be surprised that some of those mothers will be the ones condemning other people's children. When they see such a thing, they slump because they know that they are very strict with their kids. They don't allow their kids wear immoral things. They don't allow their kids, they look very natural. Nothing about moko. How do they say it? No stain. But because many of us are not the friends of these kids. When I say friends, you know, friendship is different from I'm your mother, I'm your father. I then said, I personally, I blamed myself when I got into college because, you know, whilst I was studying in the college, my daughter and myself were in the same year. My daughter, who is in less than a month now, she'll be 25. To God be the glory. We graduated same year. That was two years ago. I said I now felt guilty because when she was 16, 17, I was overly strict. 18, 9, I was so strict that we were not friends. We had the relationship of mother and daughter, not the relationship of friends. And so many things I wasn't able to know. And this is a problem in the black race. Many of us only get to, God forbid, know our children when they get in trouble outside. It could be anything. Like I said about myself, I said my own mother, when I got pregnant, you know, I gave birth at the age of 23, yeah, you know, and my daughter, my own mother slumped. And the reason why she slumped is because, what will people say? What will the society say? Because a lot of times, everybody will just apportion or put the blame on the parents. Yeah, it's part of it. But the most important thing is that, are you friends to your children? Go and check. Oyibo people are friends to their kids. Many things they share with their parents, a lot of secret. That's why you don't see too much of snitching and gossiping about other people's children in the white community. Because anything their child is doing outside, they are aware. In fact, they drop their kids there. If it's the club they are in, they are the one that will drop their kids there. They are the one that will come and pick their kids or plan how they're going to do it. They are the ones that follow their kids to where their kids are taking contraceptive. They are the ones that are their kids' best friend, majority of the time. The ones that you see that are not like that are always like very wayward and everything, go and find out their parents act like we blacks. It is not good to make kids too free. Neither is it good to be too strict. Our parents were very strict. If you want to talk about strictness, my mother gets it for strictness. But at the end of the day, you may be lucky to see, you know, not all your kids you will succeed in training perfectly. In fact, some people failed woefully from 1 to 10. If it's 20 God gave them, they failed woefully. If it's 1, fail. You understand? And it is not by your doing. If you are lucky that your child, you know, just decide to be very good, you know, in front of you and not, it's not by your doing. You are probably doing things right, but most of the time is because you have been able to train that child and be friends with that child, and that child has been able to also use her brain or his brain to check everything you are telling him or her and applying it, and it's helping. You know, many times when our parents talk to us, you know, our mothers, I can never forget, anytime I go out for night party and I put clothes on the bed and my mother cuts me, that was what stopped that one. You understand? Then you cover it with bed sheets. You know, understand what I mean? And tell the house help to be awake, so that when you come back, security go receive your own if you not quick open gates. What I mean is, when you do all those things, it's part of strictness towards your kids. You should be able to have a relationship whereby you say, okay, you are allowed to go, you are too young to start going out at this age. Wait till you are 18. But we don't communicate. You even when kids reach university, like my own mother, she still feels that no. My mother will tell me then, when you go and job first, and she say, hey, when they put this thing you are going outside, because they always believe, you know, our mentality as blacks is that anytime you go out, even for parties, innocent outing, is to go and have sex. I don't know if for anybody is like that. My own background, my own mom was that kind of mentality. Anytime you want to go out, especially party, that, you know, unhealthy hour, any outing that is more than, you know, 5 o'clock, I be 6 o'clock. No, my mother doesn't think it's natural outing. It's not innocent. No, that's not how Oyibo think. They allow their kids to have fun. They allow their kids to be their friend. You understand? My mother will say, that thing you are going to jump first to go and meet, they will put it beside you at a point in your life to be smelling. But the truth is, there are some innocent outing, and the truth is, there are some outing that are not innocent. But the difference is, black race will not allow you even do the innocent, and the all of them you can't decide which one you will be able to do. You have to sneak, you have to fight, you have to lie. At a point when I now saw that, okay, there's no way I can be going out for a party at home. I don't come when it's time for when I'm in school. Sometimes I will come to Lagos State, but I won't go home. I remember when our driver's wife saw me and my friends, and she thought I was back home. So she then greeted my mommy and told my mommy, Ekwa Mojuba. Meanwhile, she saw me with my friends. You know, we went to buy near home, but I wasn't home. Me, I came to cruise in Lagos State. You understand? But I didn't go home. Because if you go home, your mom will allow you have fun. You know, so a lot of them miss out in that fun. Miss out in friendship with your mom. Everything has to be on mommy-daughter talk. No friendship talk. No friendship talk. And that's why, you know, I remember then that my daddy's, my driver's wife, of blessed memory now. The driver is dead, and she's going to be with the Lord. So she now greeted me and then greeted her back. So my mother was shocked when she got, you know, she doesn't live in our house, but she just went to the house and she told my mom that, Ekwa Mojuba, that is, it's good to see Kudi. I saw her, no, Ekwa Mojuba, that is, well, thank God for Kudi coming back. Abiba Wisheman Sojare, you know. So my mommy was like, no, Kudi is not back. She's in school. Where did you see Kudi? She then told my mama, I saw Kudi and her friends, and we greeted. Meanwhile, I wasn't home. So information got to me. I mean, you know, somehow you always get information. You understand? You have in security, in snitchers, whistleblower, gbogbo money. So information got to me that They don't come tell my mama say they see me. Oh, now I redirect my itinerary. I can't change movements. Now I can't carry bag, go house that same day. So when I got home, no, sorry. I didn't go home that same day. I then went home maybe 2 days later or something like that. I didn't go home that same day. I still cruised my cruise and went home. My mother now said, Lagbaja saw you sometime 2 days ago or 3 days ago, and she greeted her, and you are just coming home today. What happened? You don't understand. And meanwhile, it has gotten her all, this girl. There are some people that time that they will say that they died. Then they go and show their body. You understand? Now you deny. Come and see changing. I changed the story. I said, me? It's not me. Oh. And she's already got a blessed memory. She already has the name of always, Jehovah's wife. They're always like that. So the story changed for Amo because I said not be me she see. She said oh they sure. I said me not be me. I changed face, but if there was not, if it wasn't mother-daughter relationship, if it was mother friend relationship, I would have said yes, mommy, I was the one. I came to have fun with my friend, or I came, after having the farm job. But I couldn't because they won't give me money to, you understand? They won't be nice to me. I will get into trouble. So many kids lie. Many kids do everything, and the last people that get to know is their parents. And that's the problem in Bakri. I denied it. In fact, when they went to call that woman never see lie. You both will call it white lie. You never see person will lie oju like that. I said, no, it's not me. It was later on in life. When I don't mature, I don't become myself. And you understand? I was telling my mommy that, do you know that story? And my mother, if not later, that things down, you understand, things down, I now got pregnant and had a child. My mother believed me that time that it's not me she saw, that is the Jehovah's wife, because they already know how to be doing amebo up and down, that wants to scatter family. She believed me. So anyway, I was a very, 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 very bad girl. You understand? So I can say many things. So when it was surprising that when I then had my child, I used my mother's system to train my first child. It's not good. Being overly strict, you are trying to impress the society. You are not helping yourself, and you are not helping the child or the children. That you use that rigidity and that unnecessary over strictness. You need to be your kids' friends. They need to be able to come to you when they are in trouble, when they my own mom, when I got pregnant, it was my final year. It was the woman on my street who happens to be my mommy's very good friend till date. They are all both age now. She's a Benin woman. She's now retired back to Edo State. She was living on the same street with us then, in Ikeja. She was the one that told my mom that could it alone you now? My mother didn't see it, and I was 5 months pregnant. In fact, it wasn't showing. To say the truth to the world and to be very sincere, that pregnancy, thank God, I didn't do many people that didn't have a child outside wedlock, you understand, that went to abort. Do you get me? we would have been in the same shoe. But on that child, God has written it that I will have that child, and I'm very grateful to God that I did not do anything then, because from with my background, coming from a polygamous background, where there's so much competition, where there's everybody doing like this to themselves, everybody laughing at each other. Do you get me? Hey, you understand? Everybody trying to make sure that your daddy loves you more, and you are the one going to school and doing very well. You understand that rubbishness in polygamy, and that's why I distaste it. I preach against it every time. Now, I hope people are enjoying are we enjoying this, or are we bored? Please give me a thumbs up if you are not enjoying this gist, because I'm just trying to correct a notion. So from there I needed to go deeper. I can't see any comment again. If you are not enjoying this, let me know, and I can conclude on it then. Maybe just be shouting here and be. If you are enjoying it, say I am enjoying it. Type I am enjoying it. Don't just be looking at me, and contribute. Say some things, tell me where you don't understand that you want me to go deeper. If it's something I'm knowledgeable about, and I'll go deeper in it. You understand? And so when my mom was told that Akudi ti lóyún, Benin people speak Yoruba now. Akudi, I'm imagining, I wasn't there when she snitched on me. But after that, my mom then called my attention. And on that pregnancy, on my street of blessed memory, two people died the same year. I was pregnant of my son, of my daughter. On my street, go to my street in Ikeja, you will find that. One is my age mate, the other one is younger than me. The other one actually got a scholarship to America. I don't know her name. She's an Igbo young. She's, they said she's a genius. I don't know. And she just got scholarship. But I'm very brilliant. Amaka, her name is Amaka. I don't know what happened. And there are only two her parents have. She's the first child. The other one is a girl, And I heard her own pregnancy had, gotten to maybe, far more than mine. Maybe it's 6 months or so. I don't know. But they went about it. She was due to go to America, I think, to study one of these baddest courses, maybe medicine or something, I don't know, but on scholarship. And she died. Then I was probably like 2-3 months pregnant when she died. And then when I was thinking again that maybe how can I go about, I won't lie to you people, I was thinking of going to abort it. No, the Delta, that one lives 3 houses away from me. People that know me know who I'm talking about. And her own too, she was pregnant. Because our parents, we don't have communication. Not too. She too. Maybe I was around 4 months when she too. They even said the guy that impregnated her was begging her that they should marry. But maybe all this fear of, I don't know. Or maybe she discovered later that the guy wasn't, I don't know what that one was my age mate. If she was alive, we'll be the same. She'll be like 50 now. We are all in the same age group. All the people I was in the same class with, now they are clocking 52, 51, 50. As I'm probably the youngest amongst all. Yeah. So she too died. In fact, I now became scared. I didn't know I didn't know how to. And the father of my child too, that one too wasn't helping issue. That one was telling me that he should carry me to hide, that he should go and hide me somewhere, because his interior motive was to make sure that I give birth for him. Do you get it? So, and I don't know, I look very sharp, but when it comes to all this rubbish relationship that I'll be mumu. I not get sense at all. You understand? In maybe in education you will see me, or fashion but when it comes to all this relationship and some things, I look back and I like, man, things I wouldn't do now. I mess up, you know. But seeing my daughter, I hate to talk like that. You understand? My daughter is my joy. You understand? So that part, when my mom, I now came home for a holiday just to come and get money off my dad. That's what I always do. I had a father of blessed memory that loves children. I'm one of those that are privileged to have such a father. I used to collect money for my daddy for even things that don't exist. But my daddy will never sit with you and tell you, be careful. He didn't understand, because he lost his father when he was 3 years old. He doesn't know how to gist with, like, you only talk on serious things with my dad. I have never seen my daddy sit down and be educating me. Men are, be very careful, all these men out there. My daddy will only talk on education and you need money for this or that, or you are sick. He's there to take, my daddy, there's no friendship. And I respected him and feared him so much. No friendship. But fatherly love in terms of, what are your needs? All I want from you is I supply your needs, you go to school and make me proud. Now go there. Nothing more. So all those things, it's not, it's what many of you will say you understand. But that's not how you will see Oyibo people. They will go out with their son, go and watch ball, they go to the pub or they go somewhere. They will make their son their friend and make their daughters their friend too. Mommy will be talking with the daughter, daddy will be talking with son. There will be talk. There will be friendship aside daddy, mom, daddy, son relationship, daddy, daughter relationship. I only had daddy, daughter relationship with my dad. There was no friendship with my parents. I didn't have anybody. The only person I could tell that I was pregnant and who knew was the father of the child. And of course, a bad advisor, because he didn't advise me well. Then again, with everything that was happening on my streets, the two people that were, and it was on the fact that they were pregnant, and they tried to eradicate that thing without their parents knowing. It was a sad year. That was 1997, because I gave birth 98 February. It was a sad year on my street. 2 people went on my street pregnant. They went, and so everybody was already talking. You understand how our people are now? They have already started bad-mouthing the family of the people that had that experience, forgetting the fact that it's because many of us don't have friendship. It's because many of us don't have friendship with our kids. We don't have friendship. We are generally Africans. Don't say Nigerians. Black are like that. It's because some of us have come abroad and we are watching. Like, I think my own helped me when I became a special need assistant because I studied. I did diploma in. I'm a special need assistant. You know, I did diploma in special needs course. You know, so I started seeing life. Then when I went to college, I became more. You understand? I see a difference. I had a 360 turnaround in my mentality. My university life in Nigeria is totally different from my university life abroad. Furthermore, when I then did masters, wow, I then saw, I became a child again, and I understood better. Now as a parent, being a child, I could see how our kids behave out there, and my mentality changed. And my kids noticed. They will say it. My first girl will say, "Oh, the way mommy handled mama down, as in, it's different from the way mommy handled me. Mommy handled me like a lion." It's quite glaring. Sometimes when she sees the communication, when we do video call with her, and she sees me, and she'll be like, she's so surprised at some words that they discuss with me, and she'll be like, she's very hesitant to talk like that, because she thinks, mommy will say, how dare you talk to your mom like that? Or how dare you, no. You shouldn't be rude, but you can be their friend. And it makes them, and when my mom discovered that I was pregnant, it wasn't that she wasn't able to even still ask me. She still did sneaky. I've told the story many times here. If you have one of the owners of the courtroom, you'll be very used to that story. My mother see this sneaky, come. She still lock her door. You are pregnant. I will never forget. You know how we want to catch a thief in Nigeria? We always do things. And the mentality, I don't know. I think we are all, not all changed, but I think many of us have changed. It's not about education. It's not about education. It's about our mentality. That's why many of us are quick to see people's children and we talk badly about people's children. Yeah, trust me. And we'll be, but their parents don't know what they are doing. Those kids are learning most of the things from out there. But the only shortcoming from we black parents is that we do not communicate. We are not friends to our kids. So my mom shut the door at the back. And I don't know if you have that kind of lock in your house that because she knows. And my mother, if you know my mother, she's almost a 6 footer. It's just because of age now. Agbati, she's tall. And not Lara slim. The only thing she has is Idi. She has big bum. But she shrink. Agbati, God continue to be with my mother. Now, my mom then said, Otiloyun. I denied. My eyes was looking. No. Kudi Otiloyun. I said, no. Why? Was it? I was there. She then told me to pull up my clothes. And I didn't know that, and that mark, I never saw it again after that day my mother showed. I never saw it in subsequent pregnancy now. When I got married and started giving birth. I don't know. My mother announced, the moment she saw one black mark, as tall as she is, it's funny now, but in those days it wasn't funny. It was tearful. I screamed. I shouted. God, I've never seen my mom so devastated, so heartbroken, so where am I coming from? Assuming we are friends, I would have been able to say, Mommy, help me. I've messed up. And it will come easy. It's not that it is good, but when your mother has your back, or your mother is able to say, and hold you and be able, you will probably be able to, because you know, you'll be able to you will probably be able to overcome your mistake. Trust me. When it happened and my mother said, people came to her, some people, you know, they were saying that she should punish me by not taking that charge for me and allow me defer my admission, because 2 weeks to my final year exam in 1998 was when I gave birth, and you know, and the only thing that could happen was for my mom not to render any help and just tell me, sit at home, then you defer your admission. Do you understand that you gave birth? And God ministered to her, and that's what I believe. She was very angry. My mother would say, you know, everything was totally, upon everything, she couldn't still sit with me to say, why, how did it, in fact, she had to tell me to tell my dad, myself. It was a lot of burden, a lot of stress. My daddy, not one day, sat down and said, Kudi, this man that got you pregnant, let me see him. He didn't want, the only thing he asked me was, who impregnated you? I remember he was watching TV, he refused to look at me in the eyes. Daddy of blessed memory, talking about you here. He refused to look me in the eyes. I sat down and he said, hello, hello. And he was watching TV, 98 News. Hello, hello. I then mentioned the name of the person. I just heard him speak in Ijebu. Lesi yewa. As in, taleni no. That's who is he? You know, when I mentioned it, I said, who is the person? I then mentioned his profession. Do you believe there was no further question till my father left this earth regarding that anymore? He didn't even say, what? Huh? He refused, just, I don't want to know him. He didn't even say that, but action speaks louder than voice. No communication on that anymore. That is what Africans, you know, all those things will not help we Africans. All those things will not help us to communicate, because you know, the kids will also not understand I've made a mistake or I've messed up. How do I correct it? Thank God, when my mother was advised now, and you know, those people that advise her, they don't mean to harm me. To be sincere, they would have taken such advice for their own kids too, if it was their kids it happened to. That is our African people. Some actually mean to harm you. Some because they will think, hey, good for them. Hey, daddy's girl. Good for her. Not everybody that give you advice about your children, you should listen to. Sincerely. Because some, they are coming from the side of hate. Why some, they are actually coming from the side of love. They will do same to their children. That's their mentality. God touched my mother's heart, and she so decided by herself. After 2 weeks, after childbearing, she just came to me and told me, bring the child. My mom, go back to school. My dad gave me money. My dad gave me everything and told me to go and write my exam. They were not even expecting I would do very well. And to God be the glory, I actually came out with a very good grade. Even though then, unlike abroad, I came out with a 2-1 upper. But then in Nigeria, I came out with a 2-2. And I studied philosophy. You understand? But here, I studied law. I came out with a 2-1 upper. Not 2-1 lower, 2-1 upper. I was just 2 points away in my first year, in my law degree, away from first class. Same, 5 points away, 5 numbers away from first class in my master's. 2-1 upper, 2-1 upper. What am I saying? My mom took my baby and told me, go back to school. Because apparently what she had displayed to me was, in fact, in the hospital when I gave birth, my mother was the one that was with me when I was about to give birth. And I personally didn't think it was very fair if the father of the child was not involved at all. Because they were not even talking to me to let me know what they really want. You know, they were just acting. Action speaks louder than voice, in it. They were just acting. If I didn't put my daughter's name in my project work that my daddy sponsored, and I put his name, I put her father's surname, and my father threw it. I didn't even know what happened. It was later I realized that when he now said, why is Koisola's name? When he asked the question, why is his father's name? I was like, wow. But they didn't even tell me not to put his father's name. You know, the thing now, Washa. Daddy is just, he won't talk. He expects you to use your common sense to understand what he's saying or what he wants. Daddy won't talk. He won't talk. He's a lawyer, but he won't talk with you. He just you expect you. So you know, like we always do our. My mom was with me when I went to give birth. A day to, leap year. Because I have a younger brother who is a leap year every 4 years. So my daughter was born a day to leap year. So, my mother was with me. Fortunately, the same woman who, when I was being birthed in Ikeja Medical Hospital in Ikeja, was the same woman who was now a matron in the hospital where I went to give birth. My mom was standing somewhere around the labor room and she was telling me, go up the stairs. She would tell me, she had done some with me, then she was tired. She stayed down and was telling me I should move, I should not sit down because I was in labor, but it was so slow. Then that woman stopped to greet my mom and said, mommy, my mother was not like, she wasn't too sure. My mother said, she now said, this hospital, My mother now said, that she's the one in labor. Hey, the woman was about to close that day. She was about to close for the day, that day, when she said she went to inform other nurses and midwives and everything and other people on duty that the child I birthed is the one in labor now, and that so she wants to be the one to supervise. She's meant to close, but she's not going to go home until I give birth. God gave me that opportunity because that labor I don't know, maybe because, I don't know, some people say their labor is that labor. Shasa. Oga. She stayed back to make sure that labor, it got to a state they needed to go and call the owner of the hospital. When the thing, it just they do any bala for hey. They went to bring the man, Gogon, who is resident in that hospital, but they always bring him for cases that are now somehow he's a gynecologist and also an obstetrician. You know, in Nigeria they don't have major in one thing. Anyway, he owns the hospital. That was how the woman, she was looking at me. She was, you know, she was my mother said this, the fear, the way they were coming in and out, that is care that they gave them. Unknown to me that whilst that was going on, the father of my child came before, I think at the time, my mother saw him. My mother just bone him. Just waiting for, God forbid, any bad result. That's how they go. Along that regime. My mother boned him. My mother boned him. And you know, my mother even, later on, it was one of the nurses that were then telling me that, you know, when mommy, nurses were now, because, you know, then, because of this, he's a celebrity, so the people were greeting him like they were, you know, our Nigerian people, they do things. My mother just eyed everybody that was also, just pack everybody one side. Her own was that she just concentrate on the labor. So when nurses saw that this grandma not nice at all, everybody not just go near him again. They can't they say, Mommy, am I worried? My mother was, I bet she was, my child. Omodu. My child. If you see when eventually everything God came out and God came, stood for us and came through for me and my child and everything. My doctor then, the man, he said one thing. He said, you serve a living God. I will never forget. Even though they used to say that man, Dr. Adefemi, they said he's Olorun Dariji mi. There's nothing they didn't say that man is. They say it's Ogbonio, they say this, so is that, so that the man, the moment anything spiritual is happening in his hospital and maybe some people don't come, they press speaking, he will just come down and say, they said, you know, I don't know. Now after I born my pikin, I come to hear different things about that man. He's a successful man in that Ikeja. I hope he's still alive. Dr. Adefemi, he and that matron, they were the ones that they went to call him. Come and see battlefield. I was already weak, but God came through for me. God came through for me and my child. When I came out, I will never forget. I just noticed my older brother, my mom. I just saw the father of my child, and I was so scared to say anything to the father of my child. He wanted to, but he couldn't move close because my mom, she held me. If you see the way my mommy held me, I was not doing like this. You would think that I'm Queen Elizabeth. I was there doing like this. You think that I went into a battlefield that just came out. I was now waving. I will never forget. My mother was thinking in her head, what was this? Natural person when you're born. You go just they do some kind thing. I will just do like this. Waving. I know they see comments, so I don't know if now only me just they talk to myself. I know they see comments. Look at everywhere so dark. And it's only past 4. It's just past 4. I know they see comments, so I was just waving like this. I was just waving. That was what I was doing. Till tomorrow, my brother was still saying, I know my other, he was still thinking, he said, what was making me to wave? Gonna, could they hear me? You know, they said, I know, I said, you know, I saw it, I was waving. I was waving. When they told me that I was going to climb stairway, I looked back again. I was now waving. Case Richmond, thank God you people are here. I thought maybe I only me just they talk to myself. They chat myself up. As I climb up like this, 1 step or 2 steps, I still look back on wave. Hey. I see the papa of my pikin, that one just sit down one place. They look me, and I probably maybe it was the one I was trying to wave to, like instead of me greeting, talking to him, because my mom was there doing like nobody's talking to her. Nobody, it's not really very easy how we parents will. Yeah, it's not good to really be too soft, too easy with kids, but all the same, you still have to be your children's friends. So that when you hear some things about your kids, or you won't be, it can cause anything. Do you know? It can cause anything. A lot of times, many people develop blood pressure, not for themselves, but because of their children, due to all these things. Like, the parents of those people that, just hearing that your child was involved in threesome, and that's in the hotel, and blah, 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 they're going to expel them and stuff like that. It can cause blood pressure on anybody. It can lead to stroke. Many people. But it's better you know the truth about your kids. Many of us don't, because we are not their friends. Trust me. We are not their friends. I can tell you for truth that many cases, and when I was in the college, when I see things, I'll be like, I didn't know. And I'll just say in my mind, if these kids are doing this here, and I'm seeing it with my eyes, my own daughter that's in another college, I wonder what she's doing there, and people are seeing with their eyes. Do you understand? It also made me to understand, no wonder it's not good to be talking bad about other people's children, because you don't even know what your own children are doing. Don't use your full chest. You will hardly see Oyibo people having time to, you see, find out, these our black churches, you will see mothers talking down on children, talking ill on children. You understand? Then they will be taking their own. Even in fact, you see some pastors, pastor Mrs. saying their kids are saints, while their congregation, their children are the bad ones. No, I can tell you that it's all lies. It's all lies. It's all lies. It's changed my mindset to even be comparing your kids to other people's children. Don't bother. Because you don't be surprised. Even that your child that you think is bad is better than that kid that you are thinking is very good. I can tell you. Because I saw it with my eyes here. And how did I see it? I wouldn't have seen it if I was simply a mother, a parent like everybody else. Where we come and search for greener pasture here, work hard and do. Because I went to college here for 5 good years, 4 years studying law, 1 year doing my master's. I didn't do master's part-time. I did full-time master degree. So it was 5 years. Stretch. So you can imagine how I integrated, and how from at the age of 40, I started this journey. I now went to do what our 18 years old kids are doing. So I had to act like a small child again. So I was a small child in the body of an adult, a matured student. And I was seeing everything in those kids, and I was like, wow. Many of our kids are two-faced. Because we were also two-faced to our parents. They are two-faced. Don't ever be among those that will be condemning people's children. Don't follow them. Don't follow them and condemn people's children. Don't join them. Because you'll be surprised at what your own kids are doing. In fact, the things I was made to see, then, the friendship I had with those kids, the kids that were the same age with my children, my daughter, my firstborn, they were now my friends. Do you get it? They were now my friends. So those kids that were now my friends, when we are talking, and I'm thinking, oh, Some of them forget that it's auntie talking, that they are talking to. They just talk. And I'm thinking, oh, some of them talk to me. The advice I give them, they may carry it out. You can imagine, because they are not able to talk to their parents. I remember one girl that was quite close to me. She was very close to her mother. And I saw a lot of difference in her compared to some that were not close to their mother that used to talk to me. It was her composure, her esteem, her mannerism of doing things was totally different. She was very close to her mother. Her mother was her best friend. And she would tell me. In fact, when she's talking to me, I see a girl that has a very good relationship with the mom. She has very good relationship with the mom. Before the mother puts her through, and good thing is that, when you are putting your child through, you wouldn't lead your child astray. Compared to when your child receives counsel from an outsider or from fellow friends. What do you expect that the advice will be? It will be what they can do. Peer pressure. If it makes sense from what I'm saying. It will be for same thing that they can do. They will introduce themselves to marijuana. They will introduce themselves to smoking, drinking. They will introduce themselves to promiscuity. They will introduce themselves to many things. But if you are friends with mom will be the one guiding you. Don't do this, your friend. I will. My mommy, be careful. I don't like the way, money. You will be able to take your kids away from a little suspect. Many of our kids are many kids. It may be your own kids that is introducing other kids to it, but you don't know at home. Many of the kids that I met in the college, they started taking smoking and everything from secondary school, and they were introduced to it by friends. And when I say everything, they smoke everything. Marijuana, cigarette, everything. Girls and boys. Girls and boys. Many of... when I got to be friends with them, I discovered so many things. And I said, wow. It was so hard for me to be my daughter. Do you understand? Because I know my mother is not sorry about anything towards me. My mother just feels that's the best upbringing she would have brought me up. But I think it's an African way of bringing kids up, and it has not helped. It's the cause of many, many things happening in our lives. There's supposed to be friendship with mom, supposed to be friendship with dad. It shouldn't be dad, mom, daughter. You understand? It shouldn't be dad, mom, dad, daughter. That it should be friendship relationship, and that's what that message was for. For those that came back to ask me, are you saying that, we should take our kids for contraception? Excuse me? No. What I am saying is, if you have a child that you have been able to have a good relationship with, and she has started having sex, please, you need to stop being shy. You need to educate her. So Oyibo that carry their child to go and do contraception because they don't want her to have a child outside wedlock or start aborting. Do you understand what I am saying? It is not for you. It is better you talk to them very well, be able to convince them that it will be so good that you don't have sex before marriage. Until you are married, fantastic. Try your best. But if you've done all that in the process of you being friends with your child, boy and girl, and they eventually peer pressure or whatever, if not peer pressure, maybe somehow they got themselves involved in sex, you don't leave them. That's why I brought in the Oyibo that I know. In fact, where, I wouldn't shy away from that. With my solicitor's firm, I would just hide the identity. There's one woman there, she tells me all this. Do you understand? That's why I'm saying that aspect. The elderly woman, she's the eldest in the solicitor's firm, where I work, and she would tell me, Kudi, I do this with my daughter, I do that with my daughter, and I'm thinking in my head, when are we going to get to this stage? It's like a dream, but it's helpful for me because I'm beginning to, not in that aspect yet, but I'm hoping and praying that God can give me all that, because we shy away from talking. You understand? So, even when our child is, I gave birth at 23 going to 24, just 2 months to 24. That was when I gave birth. Yeah. And I can tell you that my mother have never sat down with me and told me, even though she was saying it, but there was no talk like that. I hope you are protecting yourself. There was never a discussion like that. We shy away from it as parents. We as black parents. That's why you see many Jamaicans, many of our kids have kids at a tender age. Many of them. Baby mamas, baby papas, everything, everywhere. You don't understand. That's why you see kids, boys, they don't, they don't go, when in those days, men will run away from a woman that gets pregnant because it is believed that you want to, in some way, deter that person from making it in life. A man will run away because they can't take care of you. So that can lead to you having a child for a man that is not ready to take up the responsibility. Not because he doesn't, but because he doesn't have money and he's not even fulfilled yet. He law school. But abroad, no. Many times they will tell you it's because many of we blacks refuse to have a communication with our kids, so they understand the dangers and the pros and cons of everything. How it will end up. At least you will know that you did your bit. You understand? You did your own part. So, somebody is saying, what happened? What happened? Why are you shouting like that? Why do you scream, yeah? My phone is off now. I'll see you guys later. Okay? Don't worry, I have to go now. So, my phone went off, so I just switched it on. It's gone off. So, bye. No, it's off. I have to go now. Don't worry. So, bye-bye, guys. I'll see you guys again later on in the day by the grace of God. I hope I'm able to. Today is Friday. I'll try. So my battery went off, so I decided to just say bye to you people. I came back live, and so see you people again later on in the evening, hopefully. Okay, I can't see any comments, but I'll see you people again. Bye. See our country.